Today we are taking a look at this really overly hyped device, which is the Pixel 6a. So this is Google's latest best budget phone that they have to offer for 2022, and there sure as heck is a lot of people complaining about the 60Hz screen and the lack of wireless charging and various features within this device. Now it prices in at £399 or $449. So today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and I'm going to give you my own thoughts and impressions as to whether this device is worth it, whether it's as bad as people say it is in terms of the lag and the slow fingerprint scanner and the various features. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So here I have the box. I have the white version. There is actually 3 different colors, so you do get it in black as well as the new sage green, which I personally think looks pretty nice. And then up at the top here, we have our instruction manual. We have an OTG cable, so if you still have USB Type A, you're good to go. Then you have a USB-C cable in the box. And of course, here's the device. It takes the same design as from the 6 and the 6 Pro, so you do have this glass bar going right across the back of the device. But instead of the triple camera layout, you only have 2 cameras. So you have a wide angle and you have a standard camera, and both are 12 megapixels. So something a little bit crazy is this doesn't use the same camera for the first time as the big brothers, as the 6 and 6 Pro. This instead still uses that same sensor as the last Pixel. And of course, they have been using that sensor since the Pixel 2. But I really do like that two-tone look. Powering on, you can see on the front, you're getting the same sort of form factor as the 6 as well. So you're getting the center hole punch, you're getting a flat display, as well as the more squared off boxy design. And it kind of has the same vibe as a Samsung in my mind. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this up. I'm going to go through all the configurations and everything and sort of get everything working. Now I'm just registering my fingerprint profiles because there is an optical fingerprint scanner inside of this display. And honestly, I kind of like the fingerprint scanner on the back of the old Pixel, so I feel like this will personally be kind of hard to adjust to. And there we go, all set. Now we are on the home screen. Swiping around, you're getting the sort of usual Pixel experience. You're getting the new Material U design. But something surprising is this is actually running an update from back in April, so there isn't any new software update on this phone. I'm assuming that by the time this phone gets officially released on Thursday, there is going to be an update, but we will just have to wait and see. And because this screen is slightly more narrow than on the last Pixel, you only get 4 icons across on the home screen. Now you can obviously change this inside of the theming options, but I don't really like it with 4 icons. But first impressions seem good. This thing does seem to perform very well. It seems pretty snappy. Obviously, it's got the same chip as in the 6 and 6 Pro, so it is going to perform pretty well. I don't really know how battery life is going to hold up. We'll just have to see. Surprisingly, the fingerprint scanner seems a little bit quicker than all of the other YouTube videos I've seen. A lot of people were saying it's quite slow. It's a little bit slower than some other ones, but in my mind, it's not a massive deal breaker. And then here's the included case, which I got with my Pixel. Personally, I feel like it kind of ruins the design of the phone just because it kind of covers it all up. But now I'm going to go ahead and test it in real life, and I'll get back to you. So I've been using this device for an entire day now. So from the morning all the way until nighttime, it's about like 1 a.m. right now. And I think I've got a pretty good taster as to how I'm going to find this device overall for daily use. Now I will do a full review video. If you want, you can subscribe down below and you can stay up to date on all the sort of future videos I'll do on Android and on the Pixel. But from using this today, I can say I personally didn't notice the 60Hz as bad as some other YouTubers pointed it out. A lot of people said this phone was laggy. I personally didn't find it laggy in any way whatsoever. I found it fast. I found the animations pretty slick and smooth. And compared to, say, like the S10 or some sort of Samsung which had 60Hz, I feel like this is personally smoother. A lot of people are complaining that this is worse than other Android phones at 60Hz, which in my experience, I don't really feel is the case. Now inside of this device is the new Tensor chip. So it has the same chipset as the 6 and the 6 Pro. And a lot of people got scared that that high performance chip might eat away at the battery. But in my experience, this is actually probably the best battery life I've had on a Pixel phone. I unboxed this at about 80% battery. I've used it the entire day. I've played around with the camera, I've downloaded apps, I've customized the home screen and set it all up to my liking. And I've got about 50% left at 1 a.m. So from an entire day, I've been using this a ton. And I had the brightness pretty high as well. Now, obviously, 60 hertz is going to be a factor as to why I got such good battery life, but it's a Pixel. Pixels are very well optimized compared to other Android devices, and that's one of the reasons I love this phone. I recently did a video on the last budget Pixel phone I owned, which was the 4a 5G, and I kind of advertised that as being good, but lacking in the hardware department. And this is kind of the same deal. So actually holding this device in the hand, it does feel a lot more premium than all the other past budget Pixel phones. And I wouldn't say it's laggier than those phones. I would maybe say it's a little bit snappier, but it is still 60 hertz. So you're getting the same experience as the 4a 5G and the standard 4a. It's the same sort of screen, I would say you're getting. Now, one thing I really don't like about this is the boxiness. I don't really like the narrower screen. I actually kind of like the slightly wider screen on the 4a 5G, and I really like those sort of rounded edges a little bit more. I really don't like how it's sharp corners. It just kind of feels a little bit like a Samsung, honestly. Not like a good Samsung, but like a more budget Samsung. And something specifically I liked about the Pixel was like the accented power button, the fingerprint scanner on the back there, all the sort of pixeliness in terms of the design. And I feel like they're sort of moving away from that. They don't have the two-tone power button on the side here, so that was a Pixel feature, which is kind of gone with this phone. And obviously the design is now glass. I like the feel better. I think it does look better as well. I think this definitely looks a lot nicer than the 4a 5G. So if we just skip over the fact this thing's 60 hertz and we actually take a look at the screen itself in terms of the quality, you're getting a 1080p OLED panel. And I can say it's definitely crisp. It definitely does get pretty bright. My one problem with the 4a 5G was it was very dark. So if you're outside and the sun is very bright, there's a lot of glare, and I found it really hard to see the display. They have actually fixed that. This is a lot brighter. It's a lot nicer to watch videos when the sun is out, when you're in a bright room. It's absolutely no issue. And I can say the contrast, the colors, everything about the display looks really good to me. The only real thing is for those people who want 120 hertz, or those people who are using another budget device like a Poco X4 that has 120 hertz. It's going to be hard to sort of move from that over to this without having that stuttery feeling. So my experience with this phone is coming from another 60 hertz phone because I use an iPhone 12 Pro Max and I use the Pixel 4a 5G. So both of them are 60 hertz devices. However, I have experience with 120 hertz devices. I had the Pocophone X4, which I did a full review video on, and that was a budget phone. That was actually priced at $250. So, $200 cheaper than this. You have to take that into account. What you're really paying for, yet again, with this Pixel is the software experience, the future updates, the pretty awesome camera, that Tensor chip, and the pixeliness. That's really what you're paying for. If you want the best specs in terms of bang for your buck, yeah, you're not going to get this. That's why really there's a lot of attention on this device right now because it's overly hyped for what it is because it's a Pixel. So I feel like overly hyped leads to overly criticized, but I would say it's a good device in terms of the camera, in terms of the screen, actual quality, in terms of the performance. From my point of view, the speakers seem pretty loud as well. Definitely not the best thing I've ever heard. They're a little bit tinny. No headphone jack on here. And in terms of charging speed, you're getting the exact same as last year. 20 watts, no wireless charging. So yeah, it does lack in some regards, but in others, it really does perform in terms of the performance and all the Pixel features and all of that experience. If you want that Pixel experience, you want great battery life, you want a really well optimized phone with guaranteed future updates and support, then this is your option. This is the cheapest Pixel you can get, and they have a pretty good trade-in program as well. So that is my thoughts so far. That's my first impressions. I've only had this thing a day. My opinion might change. I need to go out and about, do a little bit more testing, and then I'm going to be doing a full review video. So definitely do stick around for that. Remember to subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.